Hey guys, hope you're all having a great day. So in this video, we're going to be working with a full shade bed that is basically completely empty right now, and I wanted to show you guys some alternatives to hostas that you could do in the shade, because a lot of shade beds that I see are very filled with hostas, and although they look great, it's nice to have some alternatives. So I'm at the front yard of my mom's house, and you can see that there is this maple tree right here. We actually have a row of them going down throughout the neighborhood. We created this bed last year, and I planted 5 brunnera plants. You could see there's one there and one there. Those are the only 2 that ended up coming back. And it's actually just because it's so root bound around here from this tree. So we actually got 10 bags of composted manure, and I added 8 bags yesterday. So that should be a decent amount to hopefully get this area to a better condition from what it was. But we're going to put some of that around each one of the individual plants. But what we're going to do today is we're going to try to fill up this bed as much as we can, and we're actually not using any hostas at all. So I mentioned that we have 2 of those brunnera plants that are still alive, so we're actually going to be relocating those to the front 2 corners of those beds, and hopefully they're going to do better in those 2 spots. But I have a design for how I'm thinking about ordering these plants. Besides that, we have 4 of this variety of heuchera called Midnight Rose. What's really cool is that it's a deep, like, obsidian color, and then it has this pink spotted throughout. And then you can see the flower spikes here, and I want to say that they're just like a typical white flower that you'll see in heucheras, but we have 4 of those, so we're going to put those around each brunnera. And then over here, this is kind of the main replacement for hostas. They don't look very large now, but I was looking at these tags, and these are called a Pictum Godzilla type of fern. So they're a Japanese, or a giant Japanese painted fern, and if you look at the back of this tag here, it actually says that they get 36 inches tall and then 36 to 72 inches wide. So these are almost like an Empress Wu type of hosta. So they're gonna, or not, yeah, very similar to a hosta, but they're a fern. So they don't look super large now, but I think these are gonna do really well to cover up a large portion of this area. So those are gonna go more in the front 2 corners, and then those are gonna go throughout the back. And we may ultimately put more plants in this bed depending on how these fill out, but we're just going to start with that for now. I haven't grown these ferns before, so I'm really excited to see how big they actually end up getting. But I want to wait, give them some space, because the bed is decently large but not huge, so I want to see how they fill out. But we're going to plant these, and then I'm going to show you at the end what it ends up looking like. Alright, we are all done planting, so let me show you what everything looks like. So we did these 2 little corners in the front. Here's the first brunnera, which I just wanted to point out, I think it's just flowering, and it's pretty much done flowering at this point, just to stay alive. I'm hoping that it'll continue to grow through the rest of the season, but I think we'll be able to tell better next year how this ends up doing. But we have a brunnera, we have the 2 heucheras, and then same thing on this side. Brunnera, 2 heucheras. These also go by the name of coral bells, if you haven't heard of the name heuchera before, so you can always find them that way as well. And then back over here, we have the 3 ferns. So again, these are supposed to get pretty large, so we only planted those 3, So we'll see how much they end up filling up this space. And then we just took the bags of compost and we put them around here just to make little wells for them so that way they can pick up the water. These actually do get irrigated. We have sprinklers in the front for the grass, and the sprinklers will irrigate these beds. And then the last thing, if you saw me quickly shake down some stuff, you can see little tiny granules mixed in throughout. What I used was this stuff called Repelzol. And it's just because at my dad's house we've had issues with some sort of animal eating our heuchera plants before, so I just put this down in order to prevent that from happening. So we put the repels all down, I watered them well, put it down, and then just lightly watered them again, just that's what the directions said to do. But that product is a great thing to use if you're having issues with things eating your plants. And those are only a few options besides hostas for things that you can put in the shade. You can also do things like Jacob's ladder, or lamium is another great ground cover. You could do English ivy if you wanted to, if you wanted like an actual ground cover. There are a lot of ground cover things you could use, but I like to do more individual plants, and this type of bed doesn't work well for a ground cover, at least not for the look that we're trying to go for. But yeah, I hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. I'd be happy to answer them as best as I can. But besides that, I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.